Hey everybody, it's your boy James and you're listening to More Than a Podcast. Today is November the 30th, 2019. Hopefully everybody had a really good Thanksgiving. Hopefully you had a safe and adventurous Black Friday. And yeah, we're just trucking right along, getting right into the only month that matters. December's coming up real close, but again, got you covered, and I'm here to give you more of the greatness. So let's get right into it. So, yeah, Thanksgiving. Hopefully everything was fine for everybody. Me, not so much. Um, just really quick story. I'm sitting here prepping Thanksgiving festivities, and I sliced right through my thumb. If I haven't shown anybody, and I don't think that I will. But yeah, it was pretty bad. It's just one, and like me, I'm one of those people that whenever I get injured, I don't have an emergency reaction. Like I don't scream out or expletives or anything like that. It's just I just kind of look, I assess, and then I just take care of it. I guess it's just because I figure if I spend a lot of time screaming and howling and whatever, that it's just me bleeding all over the place and not really doing anything for anybody. So just decided to take care of it. So I'm feeling a little better. My thumb is on the mend. Hopefully things go well. I mean, when I look at it, I feel like Frankenstein. I mean, it's just, you can see the slight coagulation that's collecting under the skin. It's just unbearable. But anyway, yeah, so let's talk about some video games. So aside from Thanksgiving, as you all may know, we're all very aware of Black Friday. Now, listen, I don't usually take part in Black Friday. To be honest, I've never taken part in a Black Friday. But like a lot of brick and mortar stores, even on their online sites, they're catching on to the notion that, listen, people want to spend money, and I don't know what it is, but that is a fact. And it's so much of a fact that a lot of these stores, a lot of these retail chains, because here's what Black Friday used to be. Black Friday used to actually take place on Friday, and now Black Friday starts on Thursday, which is, I mean, again, it's because they know that you're in a rush to get a deal. Everybody wants to be first in line, and the way that they figured that they could psychologically make you feel like you're first is if they just put you 12 hours ahead of everybody else. Same deal, same everything. They have an abundance of what they're dealing out, and they're able to service everybody. So, like I actually went to Target on Thursday because I needed some food, something for food, and they were closed. And then I looked at the hours on my phone, and they weren't going to open until 5, and then stay open well into the night, and then open for Friday after. So it's really, really, really awesome. And then in the talks about through with video games, is that you see a lot of these retailers are doing a lot of deals as far as the games that they're selling. But then you get to see a lot of that stuff through the digital markets. If you have PlayStation Plus or Xbox, their marketplace, and the Nintendo eShop, I mean, what's really funny is like Nintendo does a lot. Nintendo does a lot to recognize Thanksgiving, but they won't title any of the deals in line of the holiday. So it's just their great deal section. So you just kind of go in there, and nothing gets thrown in on an expedited deal. It's usually the same stuff that they had on a deal last week. I'm not too keen on what Xbox does. But I went on to the PlayStation, and they had some pretty substantial deals. I gotta say, like they had Call of Duty, Modern Warfare for about $40. Red Dead Redemption 2 going for $29.99, and just a lot of different deals, a lot of good deals. Things that I would impulse within posts I would take advantage of. But I kind of want to go over some of the better deals that have been flying across the internet. And here's the thing: a lot of these deals. So a lot of the digital deals are cool because they last until Tuesday. So, and this usually is the case for the brick and mortars as well. The brick and mortars will put up what they will title Black Friday deals, and they'll have it run till their next campaign cycle, or maybe they'll cut it off, with the coming month. Because a lot of times, especially with electronics, they'll just run these deals right into Cyber Monday. So, you can, there's no real rush to go out and try to catch these games. But anyway, let's kind of go through what the standouts are as far as who's offering what. So, there's some brick and mortars that are offering Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. If you have not grabbed that game, you absolutely should. It's a really, really good. I don't like to call it a Metroidvania, but it is a Castlevania Symphony of the Night inspired game made by Ishirai. He is the director of Symphony of the Night. And yeah, if you're into that type of game, then you should totally pick it up, because it looks like Best Buy and also Walmart have it for $20. So cool. Civilization 6 is on sale. A recent release too. So it recently came out on consoles. But Best Buy and also Amazon seem to be selling that one for $20. Overcooked 2, $20. Overwatch Legendary Edition. I don't know anybody who doesn't have Overwatch, but it looks like Amazon has it for $25. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. So I know digitally it's going for $40, but it looks like Walmart had it for $30. So I don't know if the deal's still going on there, but if you don't have that game, you definitely should pick it up. And I think you should check out a Walmart to see about securing yourself a copy. PS4, those were all Nintendo Switch games that I read there. But the PS4, they have a lot of deals. So Best Buy is doing a bunch of stuff. Borderlands 3, $28. NBA 2K20, $28. Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice, $25 at Best Buy. These deals are also running on Amazon. So if you're not trying to leave the house, then you might want to check out online and see what you can pick up. Judgment, in the vein of the Yakuza games, is $25 at Best Buy. Oh, wow. Red Dead Redemption 2 is $25 in Best Buy. So if you want to go get a physical copy as opposed to the copy on online, then you're going to save yourself a few bucks. Control is $25 at Target. Mortal Kombat 11, if you haven't picked it up, is $25 on Amazon and Best Buy. Days Gone, $20 on Amazon. I think I'm going to have to pick that one up. And it's also available at Best Buy. Nier Automata. If you haven't picked up a copy of Nier Automata, this will probably be your best bet to get one of the greatest games ever created. It is $20. See Best Buy or Amazon for details. Spider-Man Game of the Year Edition, $15 at Best Buy. Grab it. Devil May Cry 5, $15. Resident Evil 2 Remastered, $15. Devil May Cry 5, $15 at Best Buy, and Resident Evil 2 Remastered, $15 at Target. God of War, $10 at Walmart, $10. Persona 5, $10 at Best Buy and Walmart. Please go and check those games out, because they are absolutely fantastic games. And then Xbox One. So Call of Duty Modern Warfare, like I said earlier, $40. Save yourself $20. NBA 2K20, $28. So they're going $1 down from what's offered on digital. Borderlands 3, $28. Same at Best Buy. Sekiro, Mortal Kombat 11, and Control, and also Sea of Thieves. This is all Xbox One. $25. Also Gears 5, $25. All can be found at Best Buy. Red Dead Redemption, same thing, $25. $15 for Devil May Cry. Halo 5, $15. Resident Evil 2 remastered $15, and PUBG $12.33 at Walmart. So, a lot of deals that are running around on the internet. I would definitely stop listening to this and go and grab your games. Honestly, by the time you're listening to this, I'll probably be in one of these brick and mortar stores trying to pick up on one of these deals. I definitely need to get a copy of Red Dead Redemption 2. I sold my copy a while back. I was midway through the game, didn't get a chance to finish it, but I usually do Rockstar games like that, and I need to quit. And this is actually one that I'm, kind of looking to get back into. So that being said, those are your deals that are going on now. Yeah, so outside of that, outside of the games that we can pick up on deals, I have been playing I've been playing a lot of a game that probably is on the back of everybody's mind. I've been playing a lot of Stardew Valley. I do not know what drove me to start playing it. I'm playing it on my Nintendo Switch, which is fine because I enjoy it for the aspect of portability. So it's like, okay, I got this game and I'm able to, take it where I want and actually, the convenience of having that, because it's a tedious game, and you figure that if there has to be a compromise that is given, then it should be for the sake of portability. What's really funny is that I actually purchased Stardew Valley when it was on, or when it released on the PS4. So I have a whole different game than what I have on my Switch, and it just brings me to that understanding that we as gamers, we argue about a lot. We argue about exclusivity. We argue about who has the best console, the best exclusives, whatever. But the one thing that we should be battling for, and really taking a stand on, is cross saving. Like, this really needs to be a standard in the industry, in my opinion. I believe that gamers aren't making the choice to stand in allegiance. Like, those days are done. There's no more. I mean, we can sit here and we can talk about it like it is, but there's no Xbox versus PS4. There's not. Most gamers have both. Most gamers have both. I mean, there are still, yes, I know, there are still people who, stand on one side of the fence and are very extreme in their view of what, is a standout machine. But, it really doesn't serve a purpose, especially for somebody who may find themselves going from one platform to another, to not give them the ability to play their game, in the progression that they started in one area going to another. Like, I honestly feel like that should be a fundamental feature in all gaming. I really do. I feel like if you're going to be multi-platform, one of the caveats to you bringing out a game on multiple platforms is to have it have a feature to transfer progression. I mean, I don't, it's really easy for me to say that because I don't know much about, what commands a game to be able to save in a certain way that it can't do it in another. Like, I don't know. I mean, this could be this could be rocket science, and I have no idea. But just from the way I look at it, it's just like, man, it would, because I was sitting here playing this Stardew Valley, and I'm like, man, I got to start this farm all over again. And it sucks because, again, it's a tedious game. I mean, it's fun. It's a really fun game. But when you progress so quick, or not so quick, but so far, you go so far, and, you like, I actually went back to my PS4 to, continue playing some of it. But then I was like, no, this isn't serving the purpose. Like, the purpose is I was enjoying the fact that now I can play this game wherever I want to go. And I feel the same thing for, like, Bloodstained. Like, I really do enjoy Bloodstained, and I have it on my PS4. And I wish that it had come out day and date, on the Switch, and it didn't. And, if it did, then I would have picked it up on the Switch, problems and all, because I'm not one of those people that thinks, oh, I have to get it looking the best. And, no, it's all about the convenience of, my lifestyle, whether it's like I want my games to be more portable, or I want the majority of AAA titles to be, on one system, whatever my case is. I try to, collectively get everything, in that type of standard. But it's hard, and I don't know if it's that hard for these companies to make that a feature. I mean, I know that Activision did it with Destiny 2, because they're allowing everybody to bring, but I think the whole transfer save thing is like a one-time thing, which I hope it's not. I really would like it if, like, they should just keep an open-ended you know, like something that's open-ended, where it could just kind of go back and forth, kind of like an information highway. Like, okay, today I'm playing on my Switch, tomorrow I'm playing on my PS4, and next week I'll be, over my cousin's playing his Xbox One. But regardless of where I am, I still have all the progression that I started with. I think that would be really, really cool to have. But, I don't know. It's one of those things where I think it costs more money to even have the thought than to, execute the process. But I mean, who am I? Um, let's see. I wanted to talk about something else which was on my mind. I was sitting here walking around, and I said, man, there's so many games that I personally feel, in my own mind, that I feel they deserve a sequel. Like I'm asking myself, like, where are these games at? Like, why is it that these games haven't been, you know, uh, progressed upon? Like, why is there nothing that's following, these games? Like, they stop at one, or sometimes they stop at two, and that's it. And a lot of developers stop at a trilogy. Most developers will say, I just wanted to get a trilogy out, and that was going to be the end. And I can respect that. And in a lot of ways, I can respect, if a game only has one title, or a game is only one title. But when a game kind of produces a franchise, or there's just such a heightened sense to have a franchise, I really want to know what stops developers from doing what I feel is right, which is, keeping things going. Now, I know a lot of it has to do with the publisher and the money, and, oh, we're not going to give you money to put out a game that's not going to make the return. And it's the same thing with the movie industry. I mean, I understand. But man, it's like some of these franchises, like, I can name three franchises off the back of my hand that should absolutely be existing now. Okay? Final Fantasy Tactics. We should be on like 5 right now. Like that, like, if you want to talk about a subgenre to a major franchise, that is something they could have continued to make. Like, they made the two games on Game Boy Advance, and if they sat there and told themselves, oh, well, we're not going to make any more because of how it performed in the Advance, like, that's no. You did something that you like, yeah, you took advantage of a system that was absolutely selling gangbusters, but to the credit of the demographic who was playing that system at the time, they weren't the core audience who had the experience of Final Fantasy Tactics on the PlayStation. They weren't that audience. So what you gave them had nothing to do with what your core audience was waiting for. And I feel like if they put out, a Final Fantasy Tactics today, it would do extremely well. Without all the extra fluff. I don't need all the, just no frills. Do it just like you did it the first time, which was running the risk of losing money, but when you run that risk, you reap the best benefits because you're trying harder. And it just feels like, I don't know, like they don't want to do that. I guess. I don't know. Another franchise is Parasite Eve. Parasite Eve just stopped, and it kind of went the same way the Final Fantasy Tactics did. So they made two great games on the PlayStation. The first game wasn't, like I feel like I'm probably the only person that thinks like this, but I think the first like 3 years of PlayStation was like really a tech demo. The whole thing, the whole first 3 years. Like, yeah, some great games came out in those first 3 years, but those graphics were so bad, so dated, and I just really think that people couldn't grasp the technological advancement of what that system was coming from the systems that were before. And like I think back at Parasite Eve 1, and it was just such a bad looking game. I mean, it was decent, but compared to what they put out in 2, that was an absolute jump over the moon. And then they put out Third Birthday on the PSP, which again, it was made to I feel like they took a gamble because they said, you know what, we have a bankable franchise here. We want to bolster the the user base of this particular system, when that shouldn't have been their focus. Their focus should have just been to sustain our franchise. So I feel like I was left out because I didn't play Third Birthday. I know it exists, and I won't ever play it because I'm just not going to go through the motion of trying to have that experience. But that being said, I feel like they should have, respected the acceleration of that franchise from Square Enix and said, hey, this is really something that can continue to go on, aside from the Final Fantasies that we try to put out all the time. Like, this is something that can survive, because it totally was. And they just stopped, and it really, really, really did put me in a bad way. And I still regard, Parasite Eve 2 is one of my favorite games of all time. Like, it's easily in my top 20, easily. And the last game, which didn't spawn a franchise but absolutely needed a sequel, was Vagrant Story. Like, it's like I like one thing that I can credit Square Enix, is that they ran a lot of risk. They took a lot of risk. And I think for what they risked early on, it didn't mean that much in a financial stance. It was like, let's just put out games and let's just see what, basically let's throw stuff on the wall, see what sticks. And Vagrant Story kind of stuck. It wasn't very, okay, so the only thing that really put it on the back burner was the fact that it had contention with the game in its own field, which was Final Fantasy. It wasn't Final Fantasy. It wasn't Final Fantasy Tactics. It wasn't what a lot of the other RPGs were that were coming from other developers. But it had the potential to really grow into its own and be a franchise. Again, I think we should be on like the 6th, maybe 7th game right now. And we're not, because they just kind of made that one. And look, I'll say this like this too. A lot of the reason that we don't see some of these sequels that we kind of clamor for, like I'm clamoring for, is because, listen, sometimes people just move on. Sometimes people just don't want to make those same games. Sometimes it's more work to get the same people in the same room to, articulate the things that they've done before. Sometimes it's just a little harder to get that done. So you just figure, yeah, well, whatever. This person went this way, this person went that way, this person doesn't work here anymore. Whatever, we can't do it. And I respect that. Because at that point, you're not allowing anyone else to come in and, taint said franchise. So it is what it is. So what do you think? What franchises do you guys kind of hope and wish that, we're still surviving today? I got a lot more than those 3, but, I definitely think that, it's important to kind of collectively understand what people believe should still be existing. Like, another one I'll just throw out there, Wild Arms. I mean, I loved Wild Arms way back when, and I definitely think it's a game that should have been surviving for years and years to come. I don't think it should be a franchise that should lay dormant and not get the appreciation that it can. Golden Sun, another great franchise, just kind of sitting in the wind. But yeah, love to hear from you guys. Love to see what you guys are thinking. You guys can always hit me up on Twitter. My Twitter handle is @MoreTA Podcast, and I am always on the Twitters to have a conversation. So if you find yourself on there, you find yourself approaching me about something, trust me, you'll get an answer. If you're more formal about your outreach, you can always hit me up on my email address. My email address is email@morethanapodcast.com. Well, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the rest of your holiday. Do me the one favor, take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys.